Welcome everyone, and thank you for coming in here today. And I'm Divya, and I'm the engineering leader for Postgres Engine and Extensions team, and at Microsoft. Before this, I was with Greenplum. I want to say I walked the mountains of Greenplum, and now I reached the Azure cloud. So when I'm not maintaining Azure Postgres. I love to travel with my family, and that's my family there. I have two teenager boys, and I'm very glad to be here because I have roots from Bangalore. So if you are identify any places there, we have a second connection beyond this PGConf. So come talk to me. and okay, so moving on. Today, I'm going to be talking about how we use AI and developer workflows with Azure HorizonDB. So, thank you, Aditya. You have shown us how HorizonDB is engineered for massive scale and speed and performance, right? So, now that's half the battle. The other half is what you actually build with it, right? So today that means AI agents. So here is a high-level representation of building agentic applications on Horizon. I mean, actually, or agentic applications using Horizon as a base, right? So it's essentially you have three pieces here. You have the logic, which is the LLM that's acting as a reasoning agent, and then you have tools on how the agent actually gets context to take any action. And the big piece of this is how you actually get onto the data retrieval, which is the critical tool for providing agent all the grounding facts. Okay, so underneath this, you can see that SQL queries is our old wise man, right? It's been there for a long time, but some of the new things here are graph retrieval and vector search. And did people here by any chance attend the day zero training? Anyone here? Yeah. So you've seen a bunch of those things the other day, and I want to bring in some improvements from even there, right, on what HorizonDB provides. One of the big features is AI model management. This simplifies how you bring in AI into your database with minimal configuration, right? It's like out of the box. The other day in the training, we did a lot of setup, right? We had a bunch of things we had to set up to bring in that is before the AI model management, which we had not enabled there. We had to create the Postgres server, we have to add the extension, and we had to create a Foundry resource, deploy the AI models, and a dozen steps there, right? So now with AI model management, it's just literally a checkbox to say, hey, you know what, enable AI model management, and at that point you're able to invoke any semantic operations. So this makes it very easy to bring in AI into your database. So I can follow up so on how this looks. So there's a checkbox, and it brings in three models by default. Like at this moment, we are bringing in an embedding model, a chat completion model, as well as a semantic ranking model. And it brings in some important AI extensions like Azure AI extension and the DiskKNN extension. And also, it brings in the observability and billing associated with all these things, so you don't have to manage all these separately. So these are some of the most popular semantic operators we have that Azure AI brings. Create embeddings, generate is true, extract, rank, and I want to like show you a small example of how we invoke these semantic operations. And so, we did some of this in the training, but I want to just not everyone here attended the training. So this is how you invoke the extract operator. So given a string, Alice Smith traveled to Paris, it's able to extract, oh, there's a person in here, there's a location in here, and there's an action in here. So it's able to do this extraction. I will follow up with a demo here. I will try and go quick. So this is an example where we have used VS Code to provision a new instance, and there is a checkbox there called Enable AI features. And once you have that and build it up, you can bring up your query window on VS Code, and this lists the models that come out of the box once you create the server, and this is a sample table that is reviews, and if we want to summarize the reviews by product, you can see that I'm using the Azure AI extensions generate command to just say summarize all these reviews, and then it's giving me all these results that these are very positive, or or highly praised craft kit and stuff like that, right? So this is a classic example of how we are bringing AI into our database queries. Is this vector? No. Yeah, you can create embeddings if you want. Like that is also available, but these are some things that your LLM gives. Yeah. I think it is possible. You can actually you can upload new models. This is a preview feature at this point, and we are building in some more capabilities. So a lot more is coming in this space. Yeah. These are the default that are coming. These three are. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah. So this is an example where you can extract the toy unit. So this is basically products that contains toys, and let's say I want to extract, is this a cinema or is it a game universe, and I'm just like using this query to extract the toy universe. So you can see that all these things are basically getting those semantic operations, right? And now with this, we can also create graphs. We have the AGE extension built in. I mean, it's not built in. I think you need to install that right separately. But yeah, so we can actually bring in relationships for an even better search. Not just it's not just semantic search. Now you can also bring in graph into your equation and make it a way better search criteria. There are many more things in this Azure AI, like re-ranking. Like sometimes your output is not as good as you would want it. Sometimes you'll need to re-rank to make it more appropriate results. I didn't bring in that to the demo today, but if you want to look at more of those things, happy to show in the booth. I want to move on with disk ANN advanced filtering. Since we are using a lot of vectors, performance is an important factor. And disk ANN is an algorithm that's developed by Microsoft Research, and it delivers large-scale vector search with very low memory usage because it uses the disk as well. So these are some stats on how good disk ANN has worked. That is, it has 10x faster speed, 4x lower cost, and also much lesser memory footprint. And the way how it makes the vector search better is actually it uses let me just get the entire slide. Yeah, so it uses a sparse graph to quickly navigate through the nearest vectors instead of scanning everything. It stores most data on the disk and not the RAM. That's how disk NN works. So we also use a method called quantization, which can reduce the memory footprint. And PGDiskANN is an Postgres extension, right, that adds this diskANN capability so that you can do vector indexing to in Postgres SQL. So yeah. Is there a control that we have? I don't think we provide controls like we have just directly integrated the diskANN into PGDiskANN, but I don't. Is it free from loss? The quantization? It's probably not. So it's yeah, we can get back on that, but it is proven for us to be pretty accurate. Yes, yeah, it's managed by this game. What we have brought in apart from the diskANN, the diskANN implementation, recently we've added something called the advanced filtering. So that is a new thing that we've added, and that actually brings in combines the similarity search with filters. So without filters, it's like if you, for instance, give me all on Blinkit, if you say like go give me all the great snacks, and if without any pin code or anything, it's like it just gives it's very unlikely that anyone uses things without filters. So we have built in filters now, and we've made it a more advanced way of searching, so that rather than bringing in everything and then applying filters, we are making this a more intelligent way to filter while searching, and that has brought in a lot more improvements in our performance, right? So I can show you a demo soon. Let me just move on. Is that moving? Did it just stop? No? Or maybe okay, it's fine. Oh, I can use the keyboard, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Forget the old methods. So, okay. So if you see the first line there, that's what you have two screens, right? On the left and the right, you see the we've either disabled diskANN or enabled diskANN, and here we have we're checking. We want to find all toys to teach babies Spanish, and we want to like make sure that the products are above 4.7 stars and they are between $55 and $150. And if I move on, so one sec, and then if you see the explain analyzed for both the queries, you can see on the left that it has actually retrieved a lot more rows and removed by the filter so many rows, while on the right it has used the advanced filter scan, which makes it like much more performant. Yeah. So move on. So it only had to get the 10 rows, and so you can see the time difference here, like 59 milliseconds versus 168, which is about 3x faster with the diskANN enabled. Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna talk about Foundry integration. Have people here used AI Foundry, Azure AI Foundry? Yeah, so you're familiar. So that's great. So we now have a Foundry integration with via MCP server for Postgres. So last few before this, I spoke about how you use AI inside the database. This is like coming out, right? So you are building an agent and you want to use Postgres as one of the tool to bring out some data. And that's where you can go create your MCP server and connect to a Postgres, and you can just ask Postgres questions in your natural language. So that's what this brings. So let me go straight into a demo so you can take a peek at this. So what we're doing here is uh, so this is AI Foundry screen. So it allows you to, if you see, it allows you to build or build an agent, workflow, or model here. And I'm moving on. So we're going to the Discover button there, and in this page you can see the available tools, and you can find the Postgres tool. I think I have to double click. Yeah, I skipped some parts in this demo where we're setting up the endpoint and providing some grants. Just wanted to come to the crux of things, but here we are going to be adding instructions to the agent. So that's the final step here. So you'll need to provide details about the MCP name, MCP server URL, and after that, your Postgres tool can run the agent. So this is the interesting part where right after this, so you've given this information, you're adding the MCP server. Yeah, this was the one I said where you're giving the name and the endpoint and the client access that you get in the previous step actually. And you connect. And at this point, you will be able to ask interesting questions on your agent, like what are my last 5 orders? And it's actually looking at your Postgres database to go and bring this out. So this is using your Postgres MCP server in your AI Foundry. So cool. So you get the answers of what are your top 5 orders here, or last 5 orders. Yeah. So this is pretty awesome. It gives you everything without really doing too much work. With that, I want to move on to how it also makes it very easy for developers and people who are doing operations, right? So we have Visual Studio Code. I saw most people were in the. I was very happy in the previous training that many of you had VS Code installed anyways, even without the. It looks like many of you are already using VS Code and you might be familiar. But I wanted to mention that we have the Postgres extension in VS Code, which comes in with a lot of AI enabled features. Yeah, so it works with any Postgres database, and there's GitHub Copilot integrations. We also have Enter ID support, and you can do HorizonDB provisioning straight from VS Code. And the one feature that I'm like super excited about is the metrics intelligence. So metrics intelligence is where I have a little demo to show you where it can really go onto a dashboard and tell you what's happening. You can use the agent to completely understand what's up with the CPU. And let me show you how it looks here, and then it'll be you can get that faster. So you see here that the CPU utilization is high here. And if you open the performance dashboard that's available with VS Code, and normally if you have a high CPU, you'll be spending quite a bit of time to digging out the logs and query plans and to figure out, hey, what's going on, but instead, if you let Copilot do the heavy lifting for you, let's see what it does. So I'm clicking on the Copilot button here, which generates a detailed prompt, including analyzing the real-time telemetry of the database. So, and you see, it's giving me all these results, and within seconds, it's completing the analysis here. And let's see what it gives. It gives its key findings. Yeah, so there it is. It says that it gives me even actions, right? It's found that the index strategy is not great. It's reviewed a bunch of things here, and it's also able to apply some changes for me here. And if I go ahead, so you see that the root cause says that the query is performing a full table scan in our largest table. That's the sales order detail big, and that's what is driving the CPU and I/O. And now you say go ahead and create an index in a prompt, and then that it's just going to go do it. so, so yeah, I'll say go ahead, and it's created a composite index actually for here, and quite smart. And if you go back to the dashboard now, and there it just dropped, right? So I think this is one of the big features that I'm very excited about. There's still some problems, like it's great for development, because I did get some of these questions. It's great, like you need to connect to databases. So like a lot of people don't have access to be able to connect to your production database on VS Code sometimes. But if you're able to do that, it's actually for your staging or something, you can have a pretty good experience on like what's gone wrong. And yeah, yes, you had some. No, no, okay. You have questions. Okay. Okay. This is almost the end of the presentation. I can pause for questions. I do have a few last slides, but you can ask me. Yeah, you So, oh yeah, I can repeat the question. You are asking if along with vector search, can you integrate full text search and bring in some more, relevance, so that you get more grounding in your data. I think that should be possible, right? We are bringing in FTS extension as well very soon into HorizonDB. So yeah, that's yeah, we like all, like graph SQL, full text, and what's the last one? This is semantic search. I think all these things together is what brings that grounding. I don't think one without the other can do as well. Yeah. So yeah. So disk ANN algorithm is open source. Okay, PG disk ANN, which is an extension, which uses disk ANN algorithm. Disk ANN is an open source algorithm implemented by Microsoft Research. That's open source, but not the Postgres extension. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. So his question was any benchmarks available between disk ANN and some of the other ANNs like HNSW or IVF flat, right? So that are available for vector search. Mm-hmm. Okay. It was released last May. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So we're building on all these things, and we're constantly looking at these performance outputs. Not everything is published, but we have a bunch internally. Yeah. So yeah. Mm. I will. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually great feedback, and that's the kind of talk that we wanted here. And we have Shreya, who is the PM of this particular feature, and I'm sure she's going to take that note. And do you have any answer? Yeah, let's connect, and maybe we can take your inputs on this. Yeah. Uh, okay. I don't know how I'm doing on time. I forgot to my para. Is it uh, is it time? 10 more minutes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, but that's mostly what I had. Is there any other questions? I want to move on to talk about a few things in the end. Shall I move on? Okay. So I want to talk about Poset. This is an event for Postgres. It's a virtual developer event. I think many of you have heard about this. I strongly encourage you to even participate, not just by attending. You can submit papers. And I was in the committee to select the papers this time. We had a huge collection of papers, and it was so much fun to go through all these and look at the variety of papers that were coming in. I mean, the proposals that were coming in. So I strongly encourage all of you to come in, and this is a global event, and it's going to bring in a lot of eyes, so and encourage you to watch this. And I also happen to be talking this time in this upcoming Poset, and I'm going to be talking about the performance wins in real world queries between PG17 and PG18. I'll have a side by side comparison. So looking forward to having you all there. So last but not the least, we have Claire here, who runs the Talking Postgres podcast, and that's also pretty amazing. I totally encourage you all to come in for that. So we took most questions. I'm happy to spend the rest of the 5 minutes whichever way, or give you a small break. Thank you all for coming. Enjoyed having you all here.